with the recording. There's another one in the waiting room. But in the meantime, I would like to welcome all of you, and we appreciate your attendance for our webinar. I believe all of you are interested in your well-being, and therefore we've requested Ms. Ingird Naude from Potchefstroom. She's a qualified and registered social worker, and the topic that she will be discussing is the threes of life. Seeing that we're in the third month of the year, she's going to talk about all the threes that's happening and that she would like us to talk about. But just briefly on Ingird Naude's CV, she's a qualified social worker. She's been in private practice, and she did her studies and also a master's at Northwest University. So she's well educated and well versed to speak to us on the topic for today. So Ingird, welcome to you as well as the host, and best of luck on your proceedings and how we will progress. As I said, we will record everything. You're welcome to mute the sound as well as your visuals as well, your camera. Irene, I see yours is on as well, just to save some bandwidth, that we don't have any buffering happening and that we can all clearly hear what's happening. So Irene, it's over to you, and once you're done, we'll allow some time for questions. So in all, we're bargaining on a plus minus half an hour. So Irene, over to you, and thanks again for your willingness to talk to us. Thanks.
Thank you, Andries. I really appreciate it. Good afternoon, colleagues. What a privilege it is for me to share this lunchtime with you guys and this lunchtime webinar. I'm always excited to share some knowledge and share, a few strategies for wellness. I'm actually working in that field quite often and frequently every week, doing some company wellness. So I think in this field, I'm very passionate. So what I want to start with quickly is I just want to start with a little poem that is actually related to the concept I'm going to be discussing with you guys. And this poem is called Time. So it goes like this. Tick tock, tick tock. Time speaks loudly when it's at its slowest. Time, like ocean waves, break on shore. It erases my every footprint as I move into the future, leaving no traces back to the past where I took my first step. Time plays tricks with us. Time always wins. I'm specifically sharing this poem with you because the threes of life is going to be related to time. How we spend our time, and do we spend it wisely? But we will be talking about three concepts. All right, so everything's going to be in threes. And I think that we have to appreciate time, even if we only have 5 minutes. How do we utilize those 5 minutes? So I hope the poem is going to mean something in the end. Maybe you'll make a connection somewhere. But what we are talking about here, if we talk about time, the threes of life, three concepts, it's actually related to relationships and then also to our self-care. I'm very passionate about wellness, and I think holistic wellness, because we have to look at ourselves and make sure that we are self-aware and we are not just taking care of ourselves, but we are taking care of our relationships as well. And to be able to do that, the threes of life is going to allow us to do that. Time should be our priority. As we've scheduled to be here today, we knew that we're going to be here at 1 o'clock, and we then arranged everything accordingly. But as we do for work and to attend webinars or to meet with someone, we also have to make time for ourselves as well, and then for family. So I just hope you can see me clearly. I tried blurring the background so my face is just clear because the light is bad here. Sorry about that. So the threes of life. Let's look at the concept of what it means. It's not only just going to be the strategy I'm going to give you, but what I want you to also remember is the threes of life refers to your body, your mind, and your soul being in balance with each other, as well as your life areas. You have to look at your work life, your personal life, and then also your own self-care or individual time. You have yourself, You have your personal life, which is your family, and then you also have your work. And you have to balance those three in order for you to be balanced in your body, your mind, and your soul. And how are we going to be doing that? By doing these three things. As Andres mentioned, we are in the third month of the year, believe it or not. And I wonder if I ask the question for you to just reflect by yourself. How much time have you set apart for yourself already this year? How much time have you set apart for your family? And then how much time have you set apart for work or studies or other responsibilities? And then if you answer that by yourself and you might say, well, I've not done too badly, then I'm going to say, well done. If you're going to answer yourself and say, well, I've not done enough, I've not set time apart, I feel overwhelmed, I already feel maybe burnt out, or maybe things are just too much, then this will help you definitely to make the change going forward in the fourth month of this year. So let's look at those threes of life. It refers to the following things. Plan a fun activity for the third weekend of the month. So let's start there. Something fun you can do. You can do it by yourself. You can do it with your family. You can really balance it out. You can do something for yourself and your family, as long as you do either one or maybe both. So that can be something that does not have to cost a lot of money, doesn't have to be something you're going to spend for. It can be a picnic out in the yard under our own tree. It can be board games being played or challenges with the family at home. It can be small things, maybe just having dinner together if we've not done that in a while. Something fun, something to talk about, time being spent together, quality time. Maybe you go for a massage or a facial, or maybe you just go and relax and maybe have your coffee in a quiet space. But do something fun for the third weekend. And it doesn't have to be the whole weekend, it's going to be a fun activity in that weekend. Then the second strategy would be plan a getaway for the third, for each, for the every third month. Sorry about that, tongue twister. So every third month, you're going to do something fun. Then it's a getaway, not at home. We're not going to do activity there, but I'm going to plan for this. So maybe I'm going fishing. Maybe we're going to go to the movies. Maybe we're going to visit family we haven't visited before. Maybe we're going with friends. So it's just something you're going to do to get away from home, get away from the environment that you are constantly in every day and every week while you are working. So you have to plan this. And this doesn't have to be a lot of money as well. If you're going fishing, you can go close by. If you're going to go to family, you have a place to stay. It's just something you're going to plan for yourself and for the family. So then you can do it by yourself, you can do it with a family. And once again, like I said, either or you do both. You do something for yourself and the family during that getaway. And then the third strategy, I think, is one that I'm really excited about, and that is to plan your ideal getaway for in 3 years' time. This is going to take a lot of planning. This is going to be something that's time consuming if you think about it, but it's something you're going to have to be very clear and precise about. What is your ideal getaway? The ideal holiday you would like to have? Maybe you want to go on a cruise, a MSC cruise, or maybe you want to go visit family overseas, or whatever the case may be. But it's going to be a holiday. It's not just going to be a weekend getaway. It's not just going to be a day activity. It's going to be something that you can invest in. And why am I saying the threes? Like I said, it relates to body, mind, and soul, and your areas, your life areas. I really want us also to take into consideration we are in difficult times. You know, there's a lot of responsibilities and there's a lot of requirements and requests and demands and a lot of things we have to do. And a lot of the times we don't take care of ourselves. We don't make time to plan the things we would like to do And that's why I'm giving us enough time and saying, let's do it in threes. Because I'm used to the strategy of the 2-2-2, every second day or second weekend or second month. But if we take the context into consideration, then I'm going to say, let's take three, because it gives us a lot more time. It takes the pressure off. And then it's not as time consuming as I've stated before. So then you have enough time to plan, maybe save the money you need, get the people that you want to go with you, and then you can strategize and prioritize. So you're going to plan that, and that's going to be, like I said, a very comprehensive plan. Where, when, how, what will we be doing? And then you can start being excited about that. Because we have to face the reality of where we are at in life. Like I said, the demands. And our time goes for a lot of things. And a lot of the time, what I deal with on a daily basis is people use their time for all of the demands of life, except for their own well-being. It's difficult to plan for that. It's difficult to plan to take care of yourself. It's difficult to plan to do something nice, something fun. But I do think that if we are intentional in our acts and we then use this strategy, we will be able to balance out the life areas and the demands. It's going to cost us discipline, right? I think that's the most difficult part of this whole strategy is the discipline we need for this. We have to be careful not to say, I'll start in May. Because I'm going to challenge you guys today and say, it's already the end of March. So, April, we're heading to April now. Let's do it in April. Let's start. Small things. All right. If you're not sure what type of holiday you would like to have in 3 years' time, that's fine. You can still plan that in May. But the fun activity every third weekend, um, and then also the getaway for every third month. I want you to start from April. That's the challenge. So somewhere you're going to make time to plan that as well. Um, I want us again to just take some time to reflect. Reflect on if you say you want to do something nice for yourself, what is the one thing maybe you want to do that you haven't had a time for? Take that, write it down. You can go make a list after today. What are the fun activities I would like to do for myself and for my family? What are the getaways we would like to have? And what is the dream holiday? Maybe you have ideas and you're just going to get to them and maybe you're going to plan them later and then just define them later. That's fine. But start today to prioritize the threes of life. I want to take everything together in this and give you this to think about. Like I said, it sounds scary. I also just want to clarify, sounds scary to say you need to do a getaway every third month. It's not going to be a lot because we are looking at a year consisting of 12 months, right? So it's going to be 4 times throughout the whole year that you have to do something fun as a getaway. And like I said, it doesn't have to be expensive, but it's going to be a weekend getaway. So don't scare yourself, but let's take everything together. Let's think about ourselves holistically. We are not just made to work. We are not just made to care, but we are also made to share, relax, and to live a little. So that's why I'm giving you this strategy, because we all need to be more self-aware. We all need to be more cautious with our time, and we all need to plan it more wisely. Because as you heard in the beginning, when I read the poem, time flies by, and time is something you can never get back. If it's done, it's done. If we look at what the time is today, you can't go back to 10 o'clock this morning. You're already past 1. So let's do something for ourselves and for our relationships, our family. My concluding thought is this. I thought about this idea after I also saw a video on Facebook. It's about an American that got an award. I can't remember what they call the award if you had all the academic achievements and so forth. I can't even remember what they call it. But he said that he worked so hard for it because he wanted it with his whole heart. And then it was like 15 seconds of complete satisfaction. And he felt proud and everyone was cheering him on. And he said, in the 16th second, what now? That was great, but what now? So let's not waste the 16th second. All right? For the 15 seconds. And what that means is we can work hard. We can do things that we need to do. We can plan our achievements. We can plan our studies. We can be motivated and ambitious. But we should never forget that we cannot compromise one life area for another. We have to balance them so we know that we are not just healthy and balanced, but we are also happy and we are satisfied with life and where we are at in life. So never forget the threes of life. Start planning now, and then maybe in few months' time, or when I get the opportunity to share this time with you again, I can hear some feedback from people saying, I've done the threes of life, and I feel happy and balanced throughout my body, my mind, and my soul. My relationships are intact, and my self-care has been prioritized. Thanks so much, guys. That's everything from me. I hope that you're going to prioritize your threes of life so you can build a stronger you and stronger relationships.
Thank you, Ingrid, for that valuable practical advice. Because unfortunately, life happens and the three turn into six and sometimes into 12, and then you're stuck. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to open the floor. If there's any questions that you've got that you would like to put to Ingrid, you're welcome to unmute yourself and you can put your question to her, and she will give us some words of wisdom as we've experienced in a chat to us. But while you think, and maybe while you think about a question, I would like to ask Ingrid, one of the big culprits in life that's taking up a lot of time, and it's like a monkey on our back, is, I don't want to call it social media, but let's say cell phones. And how do we prioritize and get rid of that? In Afrikaans, we talk about it, indringer into our life. If you can, maybe.
Oh, that's a really good question. And I also want to say social media. Well, I have a few strategies there, but I won't go into detail. What I would say is I think we just have to have the discipline to prioritize ourselves as well. And that is to say, if I get home, it's okay to switch off the phone, switch off the notifications. So I'm not bothered by that. Um, and if we want to utilize social media, which I think it's really not a bad thing, it's just how we do it. We just have to limit ourselves as well, because a lot of the times what happens is it runs away with you. You start maybe to scroll through Facebook and then it's 3 hours later. I just think that the most important thing for me as strategy is whenever I get home, I'll relax, have my coffee, maybe check did someone message me, is there something happening on Facebook, and then I'll keep an eye on the time. So I'll say, oh wait, the half an hour is gone. So now I'm going to put off the notifications and I'm just going to relax and maybe sit outside, enjoy the garden, enjoy my coffee in the quiet, or maybe just listen to the stories that my kids want to tell me, or maybe there's a story my husband wants to tell me. So I think that it's just about, again, time, looking at a time and being really, really strict with your time, because when it comes to social media, it can run away with you.
Thank you, Ingrid. Are there any other questions? You're welcome just to give an indication, raise a hand or unmute yourself. I see nothing. So please note that this presentation of by Ingrid is recorded. So anytime in future you would like to go back and have a look at the advice that she's given to us, you are welcome to do so. Then from my side, Ingrid, thank you for your time. Thank you for the practical advice that you've given. I think we've taken away practical examples and a message that we can apply in our life to have a more balanced life. Because unfortunately, we're all in this rat race, and we tend to forget about ourselves, and we don't prioritize, and we focus
Yes.
and we get caught up with life itself. So thank you again from my side as well, and I also on behalf of all the attendees and also General for your input, and we look forward in maybe in future again to listen to you on practical inputs into our life to have a more balanced life. I see there's a lady, someone waiting to be admitted, but if there's no questions, then from anybody else, I see nobody is unmuted or raised a hand. I thank you again and thank you everybody for attending. Remember you that you can go back in future to watch the recording. So thank you until next month again when we have another wellness meeting. Ingrid, it was a pleasure having you. Best of luck and have a nice day further to everyone. Thank you all.
Thanks so much. May you all have a wonderful day.
Pleasure. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.